And would you say, or would you agree that sport can also be therapeutic?
Not football.
Okay.
It can, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you before, like it's a place where I got away from the discipline.
Right. So you wouldn't say that
Right.
football is therapeutic for you? Or maybe yes and no?
It's definitely a yes/no. Because football takes you to dark places, man. It takes you when you're like on that pressure, when you're on that pressure cooker. For example, when I was starting running back for whoever, like for Dresden, let's say Dresden, for example, I was one of the only running backs there, and I'd got like a turf toe injury, just like Jabari had the year before, and like the amount of painkillers I take just to get through a game was super unhealthy. I remember there was a game here in Braunschweig when I forget the game, but my friends tell me what happened. I don't know what happened in the game because I was so out of it because of the amount of painkillers I'd taken that I don't even remember the game. I don't remember the game it was. I don't remember what happened. But I remember my friend, because we had like 800 milligram pills. I took 4 of them or 5 of them before the game. And
I'm surprised you didn't fall asleep.
Yeah, well, I probably did during the game. Like, and this is the reason why I can't remember it. But he said, my friend said he looked at me at the end of the game and he said, it was a blank stare, that you weren't even present. Like, you were just completely gone. And I guess it was kind of like the pressure to I have to get through this game.
Right.
Like, I'm in so much pain right now, with my knees, for example, but I have to get through this game. And I can't play this game feeling this. Like, I can't feel my knees and play because it won't work.
Right.
So I have to not feel them and play, and it will work. And that's what you kind of like subject yourself to.
Yeah.
Like, you subject yourself to those kind of, to numb yourself from the pain. Whereas a normal human being would say, all right, knee, I'm done. But a football player would say, knee, let me take some pills real quick.
Right.
I'm cool, I can carry on. And that goes on for years. Right? So that's where I wouldn't say I was addicted to painkillers. Like, but I took a lot of them.
Okay.
Like to numb whatever pain was going on.
Okay.
But yeah, football, and I guess my message to a coach, for example, would be careful who you're shouting at when you're coaching. And you have to recognize that not everybody is going to respond to the way that you're coaching.
Right.
Because there are people at home kids, U19 or whatever, who are being abused at home. Right? There are kids who feel like there is no escape when they're at home. So they come to you and your establishment and they are looking for a way out. Right? They're looking for someone to hug them. Maybe not physically, but emotionally hug them and say, you're cool here. It's okay here.
Make them feel safe.
Exactly.
Make them feel loved, make them feel wanted, make them not feel like they're a mistake.
Exactly.
Or a mess up or screw up.
Right, exactly. The mess up thing. Right? Because these kids they're being made to feel like everything you do is wrong.
Right, exactly.
So they're at home, they're being shouted at. They're at school, they're being shouted at. So they immediately get labeled as a bad kid. So they come to you, like, or me, or whatever, as a coach, and they say, I want to come here. First thing I do, shout at them. Now where they're going to go? Everywhere they go, they're being shouted at, And I don't think coaches really, maybe it's not their job, I don't know. Right? It's not their job to baby people, right? But if you're in charge of men, it's your job to realize who you have. Like, it's your job to realize who gets affected by my coaching style,
right?
Who responds to my coaching style, and who doesn't respond to my coaching style. And it's the ones that don't respond are the ones that you need to kind of pull in closer to you,
Right.
and figure out what you can do for them, because, like I said, if I was one of those kids that went to a training session and got shouted at the whole time, I might not have done some of the things I've done, but because I was, I'm not gonna say babied, but because I wasn't shouted at, I was talked to like I was an adult. I was treated like an equal to the coach.
Right.
That's the reason why I could make it as far as I did. Obviously, I got shouted at when I was in NFL Europe, but again, I didn't respond to it very well, which is the reason why it was only towards the end of my time at NFL Europe that I actually started playing well. The first 5 or 6 weeks, I was just like, whatever, because the environment wasn't it was it was almost too competitive for me. I know that's how football is. Football is ultra competitive. But for me, it was too, I was like, what is this? Like, why do I have to kill myself to play?
Right.
But then I realized that's what you have to do. Like, you have to kill yourself. You have to, every play, it has to be 100%. And it was only one of the coaches. I hated this guy. Like, I did not enjoy his company. I didn't like him to be around me. Something about him just felt creepy. And the only reason why he was there because his dad was one of the heads of operations in NFL Europe. And he walked past me one day, and he stopped at me while I was kneeling, and he said to me, "Yeah, you're probably not going to play running back this year, and you probably won't play special teams because you suck at practice." Just like that. Walked away. That was probably the first time I responded positively to someone berating me, to someone just talking down on me, like, completely. Because it was a disrespectful way, but I guess that's the only way he knew how to talk to me.
Right.
Or to people.
Or to communicate that message.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have said it a lot of ways, but
Yeah.
I guess he felt like that would be the most effective, or that's the only way he can communicate that.
Exactly. And it worked. From that day on, when he told me, "You're not going to play running back in this team, and you probably won't play special teams," I said, "What?" So I was like, okay. So from that day on, every play was 100%. Like, it was game day. And then literally 2 games later, I was on the special teams roster. And then by week 8, I was a running back or playing fullback. By week 9, I was completely in the game in the game plan, and by week 10, I had my first carry. So it worked.
Maybe it was just reverse psychology.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but it could have been either way. It worked.
Yeah,
and it worked for me, and I responded to it in that way. So maybe even to contradict myself a little bit, maybe it is an effective way.
Well, it can be.
It can be an effective way, if it's not constant.
Right.
If someone's constantly, then that's not gonna do anything.
Right.
But I got that earshot one time, and I was just like, okay, you're here. You've done all this work, and now you're gonna throw it away because you think you've made it. And that was my mentality. I thought I had made it because I was sitting on the sideline, and I had the NFL Europe logo on my chest. But in all reality, I was exactly like the guys who I was trying to avoid to be like, being on the sideline and just saying, yeah, we're part of this team. And I never wanted to be that guy. I always wanted to be the guy,
right,
in the team. And that gave me the boost that I needed. And everybody realized, okay, who's this new guy? And that's actually what they said. So who's this new guy? You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden, I arrived, I appeared in everyone's eyes. You know what I mean? So that probably ended up saving my my career. My career.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. It doesn't work if it's constant.
Right. I definitely agree.
Yeah.